Hey everybody, I just wanted to jump on and do a really quick little training about something that has come up. And I actually just did an interview on for a podcast, which will be out in a few weeks, that brought this topic up more. And I wanted to jump in and share it with all of you. So we started talking about, what teachers can be doing over the summer and what they should be and what they shouldn't be doing. And so I wanted to talk about two things not to spend your time doing this summer. And I know this is gonna maybe, go against what we've learned and maybe what even we want to be doing. So the first no-no is spending all of the time over the summer doing bulletin boards and decorations. I know, and trust me, I've been there, that this is super tempting to do. I can't even tell you how many summers I spent cutting and laminating and decorating and designing my classroom, only to, find that not only did I not have everything that I needed ready for the first couple days of school, but a lot of those ended up, sadly, on the ground when there was behaviors and things like that. So though it's really fun and it feels like the right direction, I'm going to encourage you not to spend all summer long on your bulletin boards and your decorations. I'm not saying don't do any of it, but I would not make that your priority. The way that I explain it is that just like the decorations for a cake are fun and beautiful and we love them, we can't put those decorations on until we've actually created the cake and made sure that it's baked and make sure that it has all of the ingredients that it needs to be a nice solid cake. And then the very last thing that we do is we decorate the cake. Well, our classroom is exactly the same. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about how you want to spend your summer. And then the next one is, this has just come up so much lately, is organizing your library. I, for some reason, have had more than I've ever had teachers asking about this year. And so I guess I would encourage you to think about this in the same vein as the decorations, that I would not spend tons and tons and tons of time figuring out how you're going to organize, separate your books. Is it going to be by reading level? Is it going to be by buckets? Is it going to be on shelves? Is it going to be in Ziploc bags? Just start off with something that feels right. If you have a library, open in your classroom. And then that is just something that you can move and recreate as your classroom falls in place a little bit. So I wouldn't spend a ton of time this summer on that. But instead, what you guys, what I would kind of recommend thinking about for some of your summertime, if you're working, I'm not telling you to work if you're not. The first thing is to review IEPs if you have them. Now, I know many of us don't get the IEPs until, 1 or 2 days before school, which is always a struggle. But if by chance you do have them, or you have access to the program that you use online for your IEPs, and you can start printing them and reviewing them and getting things organized with your IEPs, I would encourage you to do that. We have tons of, modules and support in the membership to start organizing your IEPs, make your binders if that's something that you're interested in doing, getting your information sheets out, and ready for their teachers and specialists. Any of that has to do with IEPs, that's great. That's that will be time well spent. The other piece is to plan for the first 2 weeks. Now, in special ed, that's always a tricky option. We don't know, what our caseload's going to look like. We don't know exactly. We certainly don't know what our schedule is going to look like. We often have kids added and moved, and all of that, comes with being a special ed teacher. So what I encourage you to do is to just have as many kind of activities for the first 2 weeks that you can just pull out when you need it. So during those first 2 weeks of school, you may be, assessing students where their levels are. Kids may be in and out more than they normally are. But if you plan for enough content and materials for those first 2 weeks. Then anytime you do have kids with you or you have downtime, you have things to be working on. That'll really limit the kind of off-task behavior and all of that you would see during those first 2 weeks. And it helps you not scramble and feel like you're already behind as you're starting out the school year, which we don't want to feel like. And then the next piece, which is probably my number one or my number two, so I could have put that up top, but getting your classroom management system together. And that includes your rules, your procedures, your behavior systems, your reinforcement, getting that all set and ready to go for day one. That will be, you will get your biggest bang for your buck. And there, again, tons and tons of content and materials for you in the membership to get all of that ready. So you have, modules on behavior, you have the classroom management bootcamp, you have reinforcement, you have your rules and procedures, you have all of that there for you to help walk you through. So if you're looking for something to really spend your time on, I would encourage you, that's the direction you want to go. And then the last piece is, and I think, again, this may be number one in importance, is to create a self-care plan for yourself when things start to get crazy as the year progresses, because oftentimes we wait until they're kind of crazy to figure out how to take care of ourselves, but instead come up with a plan this summer. Now, I'm going to include in the email and in the bonus area a link to a self-care plan that you can put together for yourself. And I really encourage you to do that so that you have kind of, your supports and your steps in place before things start to get tough. That's really, really important. So I hope that helps. Again, if you're just relaxing and enjoying, please continue to do that. I encourage that as well. But if you do want to take some time to do some work, then I would encourage you to prioritize these kind of 4 areas that I point out for you. All right. Talk to you all soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.